Yeah, because this video keeps coming up in my recommended. It's from this channel, Horror Highway. And this video for him absolutely banged. Like, the rest of the videos were getting like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 views. This one is being recommended to like everyone.
Have you ever driven past an exit you've never taken before? The kind that doesn't show up on your GPS. No lights, no signs, just black asphalt.
Well, I don't drive, so can't really say I relate to that, sorry.
Vanishing into the dark. Well, that's what this story is. A dark road that leads into the mind of a 4chan user. They called him Crustanon. A man who sealed himself off inside his room for years. Stopped showering, stopped living, but decided to post on 4chan. More specifically, on R9K. If you don't know what R9K is, it's known as the Robot 9000 board. R9K was supposed to be 4chan's official relationship advice board. But nowadays, it just serves as an official, I guess, for lack of a better term, it'd be the NEET/incel board on 4chan. And I believe Omar has already made a video on events that happened on R9K. I think it was the woman chasing video, where people from R9K would...
The guy's talking like Christopher Walken. How? There's this guy on R9K on 4chan.
Talk about how they chase women at night.
He was just a guy.
Anyway.
He just posting anonymously online.
Anyways, on November 12th, 2020, a 4chan user would post this on /R9K.
My face went. My sister actually found my hentai corner and bottle collection. She just told my entire family about it. What the fuck do I do now? My sister entered my room when I was on the toilet. My family normally never enters my room, and after my sister told my mom and dad, they both also went into my room when I was on toilet and saw it. I feel like dying now.
I ran up 50 quid in.
I feel like ending myself. I can't even look into their eyes anymore. They looked at me like I'm some sort of freak.
Then another user asked the OP to explain the hentai corner. The OP then explains it.
I'm collecting empty bottles and piss bottles.
Oh my god, Asmongold room. Bruh. I think that the thing about that room that's the worst is not all the tissues, not all the bottles. It's the film still on the microwave meal.
And also, whenever I'm done fapping to hentai, I save and collect my cum tissues and throw them in my cum pile, or hentai mountain, as I like to call it.
Okay, this is actually worse than the statue. Like, I'm allowed to judge this.
But my family was never supposed to see any of it. They looked at me like I'm mentally ill after they saw my room. I feel so fucking bad right now. I just feel like I can't look them into their eyes anymore after they know how much of a failure their son is.
Yeah, to be fair, mate, like, ready salted Pringles, not even salt and vinegar. The signs were there. The signs were always
also
there.
adds a picture with this post, so, I mean, here's the picture. Other users on the thread responded to him with disgust, and some in amazement. Also, one asks for a timestamp.
What the fuck is wrong with you, mate? I know your family thinks you're disgusting. This is sick. Gotta embrace it, man. Most men aren't brave enough to make a mountain of cum tissues and dub it hentai mountain. That's the kind of Chad behavior that should make you immune to normies shaming. Gotta embrace it. If you act like a bitch now, the whole thing seems pathetic. But if you stay strong and confident, you could turn it around and show an immense amount of inner strength.
Most men aren't brave enough, by the way.
This is a make or break moment. Your choice. Why the fuck would you do that? Throw it out. It must smell horrible and be full of insects.
He's treating this so seriously, eh? But it actually just reads like parody, all the posts.
By now. Nice LARP. Timestamp. Now.
OP then tells a story as to why he does this.
Nice LARP.
To give an example, many
Just
years
calling
ago,
it bait.
I had a girl over and she accidentally drank out of one of my piss bottles thinking it was tea. She was extremely angry and disgusted, but I just laughed it off and asked how my piss tasted. Not a single bit of weakness showing through. Acted like it was completely normal for me to have a piss bottle sitting there.
Why is it explained in such detail like they're trying to get an A in an English essay?
Guess what? She completely changed tone, laughed as she drank it, and instantly became clingy and latched onto me. We were just about done before this point.
The first lies he had a girl over. That's when it all fell apart.
She wasn't very interested, and I could tell. This is why I wasn't even that afraid of what might happen. It was already pretty much over for me, but that gave me the courage
It could be a
pull some
LARP.
chat energy.
One sign of a LARP is too much like oversharing the details. Like you've made up this story in your head.
Give a fuck. It's all about how you treat it. Be proud. Don't give a fuck. Rise above weak normies.
Another user in the thread realizes that OP is German. Then OP takes another picture with a timestamp. Here's the
Bro, you put it on the mountain. Come on.
photo in case you're interested. Some anons respond to the timestamp picture with,
How did this
What is LARP? It's just live action roleplay. It just means like someone's just doing a bit. Like it's, yeah, like you're LARPing. You're not being serious.
shit not reek? Have you gotten used to the smell that you've desensitized to your own fumes?
Oh, this video? Yeah, bro, I got the Cruelty Squad Nightmare Vision goggles the entire time. It's all red.
OP, I'm requesting a room tour, please.
then OP responds with this.
My entire room reeks of shit and cum. I've been living like that for years. I'm used to it now.
More anons join the
just
thread
so
and respond to
blunt.
the pictures with things like,
If my son was like this, I would just kick him out. You're not alone, OP. I live in absolute squander. I come in an open garbage. There's garbage in my bed, of which I haven't had my sheets changed since I got it. Every day I wake up, I am greasy for my pillows.
Oh my
I would
god.
post a pic, but I don't want to be recognized.
Oh.
OP, I have difficulties believing you live with your family with that stuff. The stench must have flooded the entire fucking house already. Besides, Jesus Christ.
Bro, this guy needs to do more readings. Like his deadpan voice, it just makes it so comedic.
You get it. What kind of relationship do you have with them? How the fuck has this thing gone on for so long? That looks better than when I was at my worst. I was putting my trash into bread wrappings and stacked them in one corner whilst the piss bottles were next to them. I shat in sacks that I put in between my curtains and window so that it wouldn't stink as much.
Could you not just go to the toilet? Like, I haven't seen, but I've heard stories of people that are like such alcoholics or like so depressed that they just cannot even like get out of bed to go to the toilet. They're just pissing bottles and stuff. But you go to the effort of like wrapping it inside a bag, going to get like a bin liner, putting it in a bag, putting it behind your curtain. Like, surely that's more effort than just going to the toilet, wiping, and then flushing.
Everyone who's repulsed by this has never been a true robot.
What do you mean, power reviewer final boss, bro?
Then OP himself responds to the anon, requesting a room tour with this.
My room is extremely small. What you saw in the picture is basically my entire room already. In fact, it's so small that I can barely move in it.
Yeah, I think Dolan was telling me a story once, like when he was at uni, there was a guy that was just a complete, like, alcoholic, and he just couldn't get out of bed, so you go into his room, his dorm room, and there were just piss bottles just lined up everywhere.
Here's the photo
Because it was, like, less effort to do that than to just go to the toilet.
he posted along with this. Some anons keep responding to the thread with things like this.
I've reached a point in life where I don't feel disgusted by this pic, and instead feel a familiar sense of comfort.
Oh, I thought he was just going to say it was funny.
Nah, that cum tissue next to the window/sleeping area is actually just disgusting. Robot or not. I put my cum tissues into the paper bags I'd get from bakeries, which I put just next to where my head was when I slept. Didn't bother me at all. I'd also sleep with a bag of trash right next to me because I couldn't be bothered.
It's Java.
Being a disgusting pig is nothing to be proud
Hey
of.
Pyro, since
I'm a
you're
social
looking
outcast neat with no friends, and even I clean up after myself. This is true, OP. Go ask your family for help right now. OP, I hope you live alone. Are you
I
close?
hope you live alone.
How often does your family come to visit? Didn't you think about maybe get that shit out once a week? Or a month at the very least? Stop fapping all the goddamn time and start looking for something you want to study or create. No, I'm not talking about what others tell you to study for
Stop
college.
fapping all the goddamn
I'm asking
time.
you to find your passion and get into it. Do you like collecting bottles? Make it cleaner and nicer to look at. You like anime
It's talking about collecting bottles. I just remember all those people that were collecting bottles of Prime.
porn? So get started with drawing and make your own. You can even sell furry or whatever porn you make online if you get good enough.
As we can see, some Anon sympathize with OP here, feeling that they're not alone, and that others are just like them, while some others genuinely try to...
People are collecting bottles of Prime. Yeah, dude, like when Prime came out, all the little kids, they were just like, they would collect the bottles and show them off and stuff. That's why there was so much hype around it at the time.
Get OP to find help, while others just say things like to kill their family. Then,
Yeah, it's like how people collect Monster as well.
finally, one Anon says this to OP.
Hey Anon, I'm genuinely interested in the journey you took to get to this point. Mentally, that is. Or with anyone in a similar position. I feel as if I'm heading in that direction and would like to compare mindsets. I used to see piss bottles as something really disgusting, never imagining myself living in a situation like that. And then, eventually, I started doing it myself. Though my reasoning started out, and still is at this point, because I didn't feel comfortable confronting my family when I left my room. So one day, I manned up and decided to piss in one of my empty bottles. Later that night, when I was sure everyone was asleep, I emptied it out and decided to keep the bottle for future cases. It became a regular thing, pissing in that one bottle, and emptying it after a while. Though to be precise, it was like a jug, so I could actually go for a few days, filling it up. It started out with only pissing in it a little bit before emptying it out that
I
night.
think the only time I've ever pissed in a bottle is when I was in like a really long car trip when I was like 10. And I was with my family and there just wasn't anywhere to pull over.
To prolonging it more and more until I pretty much have to empty it. The night it becomes full. I was, and still am, disgusted by that.
If you feel like you're going in the same direction, why would you just let this happen and not sort yourself out? Like, I know I've been memeing a lot on this video, but like genuinely, some people can just get that depressed that they just don't even have the energy to sort themselves out. Like they just can't. Like they actually need like an intervention or something.
That bottle. I have many others in my room
I mean, this is like an extreme case though, bro. Like an extreme case.
I have yet to throw away, but I wanted to only dirty one of them for this sake. Is there somewhat similar to how you started out? I believe, despite my current mindset, I could see myself eventually giving in and pissing in more of the bottles. And then maybe I'll just give up on emptying them all. After that, I could see myself slowly start to not even throw away my trash. That might then include cum rags, and before I know it, I'd be living in my own filth, just like you and many others.
Bro, when I lived in my apartment in Sweden, if I didn't clean my entire apartment from top to bottom every 2 days, I would actually just get so depressed I couldn't do anything. I could never reach this state. I physically cannot work unless I'm in like a clean environment. I don't even think like it's an OCD thing. I think it's just like a mindset thing. I don't think I've got OCD like at all. But like yeah, like I need everything to be clean to just like function. Like I could never do something like that.
Compared to the mindset of people like this, do you think I really am headed in that direction?
Then the OP
You've got OCD because you want to clean your room. Yeah, exactly. Fair point.
responds to him with this.
OP here. My life is currently not heading in any direction, and it seems like that's not changing anytime soon. That's why I stopped caring about most things, and just do nothing at all, due to lacking motivation and
I mean, keep in mind, I'm not perfect, right? Like, sometimes I will, like, just leave shit everywhere. But I feel that's kind of more like an ADHD thing, where it's like, you do everything in, like, a short burst of energy, or you just don't do anything. you see all this stuff to clean up, and then you get, you know, overwhelmed. But I think if you just deal with little things at a time, if you get out your own head thinking that you have to do everything, if you just chip away and do little things, it's like, okay, I've got to dust everywhere, hoover the floors, wash all the clothes, put them out to dry, like do all the dishes. If you just like wash the clothes and then do the dishes, that's still like a dub. Like, you've still cleaned part of it. Or you could just be like XQC and get it made. Actually, I might do that in Australia.
Missing goals in my life. Why would I clean my room and waste my already last bit of non-existent energy on it?
Unironic.
It's hindering me to clean my room / get my life together. You can't get motivated to do anything if you have no future to look forward to.
And this is basically where the thread ends. We get a look into the life of one robot, and how many other robots say that they empathize with him, and are in very similar situations. But this isn't where the story ends.
This is the duality of my fan base. One guy's saying, I hate washing dishes, everything else is alright, and the guy right below him just said, I love Coke.
Because on February 15th, 2021, that same Anon comes back with this.
Uh-oh.
The last time I showered was at the end of 2019. Ask me anything.
Then, another Anon responds to him with,
Bruh. I think people that shower twice a day, I think that's overkill. Unless you're in somewhere really disgusting and hot like California, I don't think you need to shower twice a day. I've always seen that as a cope. Yeah, honestly, dude, I just think if you shower every 2 days, that's fine. You don't even need to shower every day. You know, like, for example, if I work out or something, yeah, then I'll shower, sure. But if I'm just, like, sat here, AC on, it's fine. Like, I think every 2 days. More than that, okay, that's a concern. But, like, 2 days, I'd say, is the limit.
No lies. We are all Anons here.
Every week? Oh, no, you're pushing it a bit there. No, I think you're pushing it a bit. I don't know about that one.
I have a second layer of...
Do I do a cold shower? If I had TikTok on my phone, I'd probably do a cold shower, because that's all I got fucking recommended.
...finger above my actual skin. You can peel / scratch it off, though.
Do you take baths? Probably once every 2 weeks. Baths are kind of disgusting, though, because you're just sat... You almost need to shower before you have a bath, because you're just kind of marinating in your own filth.
But it will take ages, and it's disgusting.
Then he responds with,
Do you generally not move around a lot? I've only showered once every 6 months since about mid-2019, but the smell doesn't even seem to get that bad. Probably because I'm mostly sedentary.
I don't even think it's funny. I think it's just sad. Like, you know, if you can't shower unless every 6 months because you just don't have the motivation to, like, that is deep depression. That's like that's like melancholia. That's like catatonic depression.
Do you get itchy or feel uncomfortable? And I guess the most obvious question is,
Holy moly,
why?
Then OP responds with this.
I haven't really left my apartment after started.
Why'd you use
Not
the
taking
critical
any
voice?
showers, and no, it's not itchy. Also, I stopped showering when I stopped leaving my house. Because once you don't interact with people anymore, there's no reason to wash yourself at all.
He also makes another post with a picture of his stomach.
See, this is why when we watch the VR chat video, I don't have a problem with people socializing on VR chat, because some people genuinely, they just can't, like, I don't know whether it's like agoraphobia or something, but some people actually just cannot function outside, and they need that. They still want to have a social connection. So I think that's totally valid.
Showing us how dirty his skin is.
Pig related.
Oh
It's
my
my skin
god,
after
bro.
13
It
months
looks
of not washing myself.
necrotic. What?
Another Anon asks OP.
Is there a reason why you don't shower?
OP tells him why he doesn't shower.
I don't leave my apartment ever. Why should I shower? I have given up on my life anyways. It just feels like a waste of energy.
This is the kind of depression that you don't see a future or positive thing for yourself, so why would you even bother taking care of yourself? Yeah, I mean, he basically said that in the post.
And resources to me.
Someone else asks OP.
What could have gone this wrong in life? To not even care about basic self-care like showering. I'm really curious, Anon. Pretty much everything. I have no one but
Cokehead
myself.
top son.
It's been like that for almost 10 years now. And my mental health
British.
is as low as it
Britain.
gets.
Another Anon asks him if playing video games and watching anime isn't a waste of energy and resources. And OP just says that it's all he can do. Someone tells him to just go take a shower, and that he will feel much better afterwards. OP responds with,
It's been too long, and I got used to not showering. At this point, It's way too hard for me to go back. Also, I'm not leaving my house anyway, or interacting with any people, and I don't smell myself, so I don't have any drawbacks from not showering.
By now, someone on the thread officially dubs him as
Why are we watching Reddit horror? Yeah, it's exactly what we're watching.
Crust Anon, and asks him how he's able to live like that. Not as in mentally, but physically.
How do you sustain yourself, Crust Anon? Neat bucks?
Neat bucks.
It's your...
More Anons on the thread are telling Crust Anon to clean himself up and to clean his room since it'll help with his mental health. Crust Anon now responds to the Anon asking him how he survives.
Yeah, I'm receiving neat bucks. Also, I'm living in a cheap, commie block apartment in East Germany, Berlin. Poorest part of this country.
Dude, yeah, I remember going to East Berlin. It is actually just the ghetto. It is the slums.
So I just ordered...
It's actually crazy, like, the difference between West and East there. It's mental. Like, I know the reason why, obviously. Like, I saw the wall and stuff, but it's crazy.
food for cheap
Like, East is just like City 17.
from my local supermarket, and don't actually leave my home. Also, it's not just me not showering. I pretty much stopped doing anything at all. For example, cleaning my room.
Is this a new game for the Virtual Boy?
I don't remember Nintendo making any psychological horrors. Thanks to the 10, Bob Ross.
I'm ready to die at this point, and just waiting for the right to end.
I don't know if I should be surprised or not. Crust Anon has been clear that he's given up, and now even says that he's waiting for him to pass. He also uses the first picture from the original thread here.
This is completely not relevant, by the way. I just wanted to bring this up. One thing that I've noticed. Obviously, I'm getting loads of donations on this stream, which I really appreciate. And I'm getting loads of Twitch subs as well. I'm getting, like, no one joining as a member anymore on YouTube. And I think that's entirely YouTube's fault. I've noticed this with Critical as well, when he streams. Because what they've done is, like, if you guys have seen... I don't know if it's happened for you guys as well, or it's an update they've rolled out to everyone yet. But if you go below, if any of you are subscribed, there was a join button next to it.
For Pyro get a commission of Crust Anon letting out a big stinky fart.
Too skinny. Thank you, reached the 10. But, like, what they've done is now, in this really bizarre move, they've removed the join feature, and they've got subscribe plus. So you need to click on the subscribe button again, but you only do that when you want to unsubscribe to someone. It's such a stupid, like, system they have. No, I'm not even, like, trying to indirectly ask people to, you know, to join as members and stuff, but, like, it's just such a stupid feature.
Which causes some confusion on this thread. And we know that it's the same guy, but, like, people on the thread now...
He was begging? No, I was begging, yeah. You called me out.
Don't know it. He'll clear it up, though.
Yes, this picture is months old, though. It's looking much worse now.
Uh-oh.
After some Anons just talk about the situation, someone finally asks him for a story time on how he ended up like this.
Eternal Darkness, didn't Nintendo make that? No, that was made by... really good game company. Nintendo published it. They didn't make it. Silicon Knights? Yeah, Silicon Knights. There we go. The peak. The peak. I need to actually play that game, man.
Crust Anon responds to him by saying,
2019, the year I stopped showering.
Oh, you guys still have the join button? Oh, okay. It's over then.
Was the year I stopped doing therapy because I did it for years and it wasn't helping. I have been to many different therapists for years due to me living in a teenage psych ward and a therapeutic commune for years after that. I left the teenage psych ward in 2015 when I was 15 because I couldn't handle it anymore and went into the therapeutic...
Thank you, Xmon, for joining. It worked! It worked! The bait worked. We got a new member. It worked.
...commune for 2 years until 2017.
$2 goes straight to my bank account. I win.
They eventually had to kick me out due to my mental health not improving at all and actually getting worse. Started not leaving my room anymore for 2 months, so they had to kick me out. After that, I moved into my current apartment with my old grandma and started not leaving my home anymore due to depression. But I still had some social connections at that time, so I was still showering and stuff. Eventually, at the end of 2019, I lost all of my connections due to my social anxiety and crippling depression, so I decided to just not leave my house anymore, which then led to me also ignoring my hygiene. After that,
Damn.
it has only been getting worse up until now. The therapeutic commune in 2017 was the last time I had social contacts and friends, so it's been years of me being alone in my room. I can't
Thank you, Kama, for joining. Someone else fell off the bait award. Let's go. Let's go.
even function in a society
There are actual features, by the way, like Discord access and stuff.
anymore.
You get to talk with all the rich people.
Also, it all started with me dropping out of school at 12, because that's when my depression started. I'm 21 now, so I've been living this fucked up life for almost 10 years now.
Thank you, EWJ, for joining. The pay piggies are coming in.
Anon asks him if he still lives with his...
Yeah, back on track, though. That is one of the worst cases of depression I've seen. Like, I genuinely feel bad for him. Genuinely. Especially that he said he was, like, in and out of psych wards as a kid as well.
grandma. Crestanon just says this.
She thinks it's really bad and says stuff like, "It can't go on like this forever. You have to do something." But she eventually stopped caring at some point, when she realized I'm not gonna change. It's been years like this, after all, and she can only ask so much.
In that same response, Crestanon also responded to another user that asked him if the psych ward made his mental health worse.
Oh, dude, Coke Zero is so ass, man. Like, how can you say that that is better than Pepsi Max? It just tastes like water. Like still water. That's grim.
I don't think it made
I'm like reverse Asmongold, man.
it worse, but I didn't have a good time during these years. I was basically forced to live with many other teenagers together when I was a social outcast. That's why I just wanted to leave and live on my own. I didn't really interact much with the other kids. After I left the psych ward / therapeutic commune, my mental health was just as bad as before I entered. I do believe that therapy doesn't help at all if you are too deep down the rabbit hole, though. At least that's what it felt like to me. Wasted years with therapy for nothing. At least I tried.
Someone asks him if he has any friends, and he just says that he doesn't. After this, another Anon tells Crestanon that if he needs someone to talk to, that they're here, and offer him his throwaway cake. Some also ask if anyone ever comments on his smell, and Crestanon just says that his mom and grandma do. And Crestanon just says that his mom and grandma say that he smells weird sometimes, and that he only uses deodorant when he's about to interact with someone. He also says that his family is the only people who have ever seen him in this state, but they have been dealing with his mental issues all his life,
Yeah, it's good he's still got contact with the mom, I guess. Like checking up on him and stuff.
so they don't say much nowadays. And then another user just offers Crestanon some help.
Greetings. I'll keep it in English, so people will understand. I'm living relatively close to you, and if you want, I'll help you fix in your apartment. No questions asked. I've been exactly there and would help you out without judgment. Some Anons made a similar post, but I'm well within reach.
Crestanon responds
What
to
was
him
with
this.
moist?
No, I want to be alone. Even if you came here and
What are pond honkers, though? I don't know what that means.
cleaned all my shit, it wouldn't fix my core problems,
Is that another fat jerk or something?
and trash would just accumulate again at some point. Thanks for the offer, though.
But then the Anon also offers him to go outside with him.
How many more donos till we get the statue squat? I said $1,000. I said $1,000. I'm not doing that unless I get $1,000.
Or we could also go outside, to a place devoid of people, and Kanakin afterwards. To get you back on track. I would even visit every 2 weeks or so. I can't emphasize enough on how much life can change over the span of a few weeks, if you stick to it.
Yeah, genuinely, to like anyone that's watching this stream and you're like mad depressed, which is probably half of you to be fair. Honestly, like even just going out on like a small walk or something, even if it like... I saw this one thing that was really interesting online. It was talking about a spoon theory, where it's like, let's say you wake up in the day and you've got 10 spoons. That basically represents your energy. Some people getting out of bed, doing their teeth, showering is like 1 spoon. And then other people, just getting out of bed is like 5 spoons. They've like used half their energy just to get out of bed. Like if you can conserve just a little bit of energy to be able to just, you know, get out the house and go on a walk, even if you live in a shithole or it's raining, it's just like a 10-minute walk. Something that's like, that's basically you giving your brain a new experience that you're not used to. You'll get like so much dopamine from that. And then hopefully over time, you'll be able to use less and less spoons to be able to do like the basic necessity stuff.
Cross-Anon then responds to someone asking him about his hair.
At no point did I say alcohol, idiot.
And he responds that it is long, unkept, greasy, hard and crusty. And another Anon responds.
TLDR, touch grass. Okay, that is what I said. That is what I said, but I tried to make it sound like really cool and scientific, okay?
Hard and crusty? Jesus Christ, lol. In all seriousness, though, I agree with what the other Anons are saying. Make small steps in the right direction. Clean part of your
Watching
room,
you uses 10 of my
showers, stuff
spoons.
like that. The beginning is always the hardest, since you're getting the momentum rolling. Once you actually start making the right steps, though, you'll want to keep going. And even though you're just taking one small step a day, in a year or two, you'll realize you're in a situation that you couldn't even have dreamed of before.
Why spoons? I don't know, bro. It's a TikTok that I stole. I'm just regurgitating it.
Cross-Anon does not respond for a while. But users are telling him to go shower, get help, and that he can get better. While some do encourage him, some do ask him to post pictures of his body, and especially his private parts. The one that stood out to me the most was another Anon saying that it's okay, and that his roommate
Oh, that
found
wasn't a
COM4
typo. I
with a
just
picture of the
support those
supposed COM4.
bongos, I mean your
Here it is.
personality.
Yeah, that's just the thing that stood out to me the most. Besides, Cross-Anon himself. Also, like I said earlier, people think that Cross-Anon is lying because of the picture he posted that was used in the previous thread. But he explains it that happened a while ago, and that he's the same person, and he posts this.
Pick related. It's me right now. You can see my dirty, crusty skin on my tummy, so you know I'm not LARPing.
Bruh.
Then Cross-Anon posts a picture of his crust, saying this.
By the way, I made a close-up picture of my skin, if anyone cares.
That's like... Bro, I got cordyceps. That actually looks a bit like eczema.
Anons on the thread are obviously disgusted. And then Cross-Anon responds to the person asking for a timestamp with a picture of a timestamp on his COM mountain. Here's the photo. Then he makes another post talking about how he doesn't clean up his COM mountain because he's afraid of insects living in his COM mountain.
Thank you, Irby, for the raid.
And,
appreciate it.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me because he already sleeps next to it.
Why is he trying to garner attention when he's so depressed and ready to die? Clearly still wants to save himself in some way. I think it's the way your brain works, right? Where it's like, I mean, I could shower, I could, clean my room, but that's not my routine that my brain has been trained. My brain has been trained to just post like all day. So I'm going to keep doing that. Like, it's so much easier for him to do that.
His head is literally next to the COM mountain as he sleeps. So, obviously, it's just an excuse for him not to clean up.
Thanks for
Also,
taking
one
my
of the
money.
reasons because I'm kind of scared that there might be insects inside it. And I'm extremely scared of insects.
He then responds to someone asking him to see his hair with a picture of his hair.
I have the greasiest, most disgusting fucking hair you can imagine.
The first use of the spoons bit was to refer to chronic illnesses. It was on a blog post of someone speaking to their friend over brunch, using the spoons they were eating to help visualize how their energy was split up. Paraphrasing, of course, but I remember reading it a few days ago. Oh, so it was used in a blog post and then a TikToker stole it? That makes sense.
Pick related.
Oh, man.
He answers more questions and responds to them with things he's already mentioned before, like covering the smell with deodorant. And he claims
Yeah, I
that
paused
he
at a
sprays
rough
Axe
time there.
to cover it. He also says that he's just waiting to pass. He also claims that he got molested when he was younger, and thinks that that might be a reason as to why he does not shower. They can't touch me down there if it's rotten.
Damn.
I just put on a head to hide the crusts, and use some Axe body spray to cover the smell. They don't come that often anyways. Not like I care much.
Dude, this started off being funny, but now this is just actually really sad.
Since they never were there for me on occasions. Even molested me. I think that's another reason why I never really took care of my hygiene. Can't touch me down there if it's rotten. I'm pretty much just waiting for the ride to end, or for someone to get Kinsey's ITT.
Then Questonon scratches the dead skin layer off of his stomach, posting.
Oh, nah. It's building up. It's building up in the belly. Ugh. No.
Questonon says,
sorry, bro. I can't. Thank you, Weber, for the prime.
I can barely function on my own. I can't help her with anything. Actually, she is the one who keeps buying groceries for me.
Yeah, I had to skip that,
I
bro.
don't feel like ordering online. Also, there's dead skin in, I don't know. Corner of my room is the same place where I had my piss bottles.
He then posts a picture of a hidden piss bottle by his bed. Someone ends up posting a picture of Questonon's crust on Reddit. I'm just making a mention of it here because, you know, it might get confusing because it was on the same day of this post. But that was another anon showing Reddit what was going on, you know? Someone asks Questonon to put crust on his food and use it as seasoning.
Yeah.
And Questonon says that he'll put it on apple cake and eat it.
Scrape a little crust onto whatever food you got delivered as seasoning. Should I put it on my apple cake and eat it?
After a while,
Please don't show the picture.
other anons posting on the thread, Questonon finally returns with his concoction and posts a picture of both the creation and in his mouth. Here's the photos.
I can see the photo. Thank you.
Questonon is going more bold as the thread goes on. I want to pause here and give another content warning. Questonon will be posting 2 pictures of his private parts. I obviously won't be showing it in the video, but it is disgusting. Yeah, more anons on the thread ask Questonon to post his private part.
Dude, have I got to like skim through this video now to make sure?
His private part, both on soft and hard. Sorry. Anons on the thread wonder why it looks like that and ask him to pull his foreskin back. He explains how
someone in chat is really bringing up Pyro Christmas dinner right now. Like that is even comparable.
He
has phimosis, which is when the skin covering the head is too tight and can't be pulled back without it hurting. Someone asks Questonon if he faps, and he responds with this.
My dick smells so strong that you can smell it throughout my entire room, if you are inside of it. Like I said before, it's like some sort of dead fish. Also, I fap about twice a day.
Imagine the Instagram
Then,
comments.
after a while, with more anons pleading for him to get help, Questonon posts
Post this on IG Reels.
OP here. See y'all all in 2022. When I went another year without showering, and I make it a new thread. I appreciate the effort Anon, but I'm a fucking failure and a loser through and through. My life will only get worse. I can't do anything alone anymore.
Only twice. It's not as bad as I thought. Yeah, I actually thought it'd be like we'd be going into like double digits or something.
Yeah, that's pretty much the end of the thread. He did mention that he would come back a year later on his last post, but I tried searching for it and there was never a follow-up like he claimed. I did find people asking for an update, but nothing ever came from those. Nothing ever came up from those. And I do hope that he got some help after he posted this thread.
Oh, that's a really old thread as well. It's like 21.
Living like Asmongold here, you know? I do want to add this to the video now, because as of late, I say as of late, but like pretty much very late 2024 and pretty much the whole of 2025, there's been a bunch of memes of not getting a job, not showering, staying home, etc. You know, pretty much what Questonon is going through here. Yeah, those are obviously jokes, but I guess this is very clearly someone living that reality. I hope he got help. I hope he's doing better now. I hope he was able to take care of his grandma, or still is. Yeah. I hope that didn't sound
Hello,
weird. I probably didn't mean
Biofact.
it any bad way.
People in chat
pretty
seem to know
much
what that is. Rumble.
Sorry it took a while to upload this. I did do a face recording of this. This is my second time recording it, or like a master recording of it. I just didn't like the audio, so I just thought I'd redo it. I do want to make a custom mask for Horror Highway to be able to, you know, not use my full face, but still be able to use my glasses properly and not have the mask muffle my voice. So yeah,
Could just like buy a balaclava, surely.
I guess that's, you know, next time I do a face video, it'll be with that mask.
Yeah, that was grim. It was like, it started off funny, then it got sad, then it got funny again, then it just became absolutely disgusting.